Welcome to Mastery of Writing the Personal Narrative. Lesson 3, Video 1. This is the first of 4 lectures on writing a concise paragraph. In this first video, we will discuss what a paragraph actually is. You want to look for the central principle of a paragraph when you're watching this lecture. You also want to look for the 4 characteristics of a well-planned, concise paragraph. Make sure to take good notes. And as with every video, at the end, you will be asked to submit a question for inquiry. By the end of this lesson, you will know what it means when I say that every paragraph has a central principle that never changes. You will also know about the 4 characteristics of a well-planned paragraph. There are several ways your instructor might help you after you watch this video. After the initial inquiry session, he or she might have you form a group of sentences into a paragraph with the help of some of your classmates. You might do some research on the composition of a paragraph, or you might be asked to write a paragraph. So be prepared. Watch this video and watch it again if you don't understand everything the first time that you see it. Are you ready? So what's a paragraph? A paragraph is a collection of related sentences dealing with a single topic. Simple enough, but it's easy to stray from a single topic. Writers do it all the time. If you have a paragraph with a single topic, you have a paragraph that includes the central principle of a paragraph. One idea, one paragraph. Or, another way to state the central principle of a paragraph, one paragraph, one idea. In addition to this central principle for a paragraph, there are 4 characteristics of a well-written paragraph. A paragraph must have a topic sentence, it must have sufficient development of details, it must have unity, and it must have expressiveness. The central principle and the 4 characteristics of a well-written paragraph are an essential part of your writing toolbox. Every carpenter needs a hammer, a screwdriver, and a saw to start building simple structures. This holds true for a writer. You must have these basic paragraph skills in order to write simple but strong paragraphs. Let's begin assembling your writer's toolbox. First up is the topic sentence. Topic sentence tells the reader what a paragraph is about. An easy way to make sure your reader understands the topic of your paragraph is to put your topic sentence right at the beginning. The topic sentence should be your first sentence. Let's say your paragraph is about running away from home. Start your paragraph with a sentence that tells the reader exactly what you did. It was 1966 when I first ran away from home. The second characteristic says that a paragraph must have sufficient development of details. A paragraph with sufficient development of details provides everything a reader needs to understand the writer's message. A paragraph must move smoothly from the beginning through the middle and to a conclusion. Let me show you a paragraph that starts with this topic sentence. It was 1966 when I first ran away from home. I lived in a house on Evergreen Boulevard in Medford, Oregon with my mom and my dad and my sister who was 18 months younger than me. I was 4 years old. I remember finding my mom standing at the kitchen sink. I guess she was washing dishes. She never liked washing dishes, and when I was 10, my dad hired a housekeeper for her. I asked her where my dog Skippy was. She never looked at me. She kept her eyes down, staring at nothing in the sink. She told me that Skippy ran away. I waited to see if she would follow that lie with a look my way, but she didn't. I turned around and I walked away. I don't know why they call it running away. I never ran. I walked away. Does this paragraph have sufficient detail? It starts with the year, and the next sentence provides a location and additional characters. Then there's a bit of a shocker. The writer tells us he was 4 years old when he did all this. Kind of young to be running away from home. Next, the writer takes us to the kitchen, where his mom is at the kitchen sink, and she's caught in that lie. Quietly, the little boy turns around and walks away. Did the writer provide sufficient detail? Don't judge it too harshly. There's always room for revision. But the writer is certainly providing details that move the message from a beginning through the middle and to an ending, and it's easy to keep it all straight, don't you think? Let's talk about unity. As I said earlier, the topic sentence tells the reader what the paragraph will be about. Unity means that the sentences a writer uses to develop the details of a paragraph serve that topic sentence. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's look at this paragraph one more time. Can you spot the sentence that interrupts the unity? I'm going to read it again. It was 1966 when I first ran away from home. I lived in a house on Evergreen Boulevard in Medford, Oregon with my mom and my dad and my sister who was 18 months younger than me. I was 4 years old. I remember finding my mom standing at the kitchen sink. I guess she was washing dishes. She never liked washing dishes, and when I was 10, my dad hired a housekeeper for her. I asked her where my dog Skippy was. She never looked at me. She kept her eyes down, staring at nothing in the sink. She told me that Skippy ran away. I waited to see if she would follow that lie with a look my way, but she didn't. I turned around and I walked away. I don't know why they call it running away. I never ran. I walked away. So what do you think? It's this one, isn't it? The idea that the mother does not like washing dishes has nothing to do with the topic. The fourth characteristic of a paragraph states that in addition to serving the topic sentence and sufficiently developing every detail, supporting sentences must demonstrate expressiveness. There are many ways writers can do this. We're going to discuss 3 expressive techniques in this course, but I'll tell you all about that when we get there. Okay, before we conclude our discussion, I want to give you some very important advice. This advice holds true for not only the paragraph work you're doing, it's good advice for anything you write. Before I give you this advice, let's recap what we've talked about today. First off, what is the central principle for writing a well-thought-out paragraph? One idea, one paragraph. And what are the 4 characteristics of a paragraph? First, a paragraph must have a topic sentence. The second characteristic of a paragraph says that there must be sufficient development of details. The third characteristic says that a paragraph must have unity. And the fourth characteristic of a paragraph, it says a writer must make sure that the sentences within a paragraph are expressive. Now for the advice I promised. Forget everything I said today. Seriously, when it comes to writing that first draft, forget about everything we talked about here. Learning the art of writing is not easy. One thing that makes it hard is our brains. We think too much. And I gave you a lot to think about here. The first draft is a time when you get your thoughts down on paper just as fast as you can. Throw caution to the wind and write without judging what you write. Once you have a first draft in front of you, then you want to use everything we talked about here. You want to make sure your paragraph conforms to the central principle and 4 characteristics of a strong paragraph. Your instructor will give you plenty of opportunities to explore these 2 writing skills that are so opposite of each other. First, write as fast as you can and don't worry about mistakes. Then go back and meticulously fix all of your errors. You want to enhance your reader's ability to understand what you have written. That's it. Okay, there was a lot to learn here in this lecture, and I highly recommend that you look at it again if you need to. Make sure to post your question in the inquiry folder, and remember, work hard and have fun.